What follows are notes to myself so I could reassemble the grinder and know the purpose of each part. The restoration was straightforward. The grinder was disassembled, metal parts were soaked in a 1-to-1 bath of simple green and water for 24 hours, rinsed, soaked in Evaporust for 24 hours, rinsed, and sprayed with an anti-rusting agent. Metal pieces were primed with self-etching primer, paint was applied, followed by a clear top coat. The wood pieces were lightly scrubbed with a green Scotch Brite pad, and then a 1-to-1 mix of boiled linseed oil and mineral spirits was applied, followed by beeswax. As you can see, the grinder is now up and running. Nut comes from there. This lifts up. The carriage bolt is trapped under here and slides out. And then there are 2 nuts here that can be removed. Screws on the opposite sides of the bolts get removed. The square nut there captures a machine screw on the other side. The grease is thicker than icing on a chocolate forest cake. Using a 5/8 inch socket, this nut was removed. I had to use a little bit of a tapping with a punch onto here in order to free up the handle, which has a washer on it. And then on the underside, there's nothing but grease which needs to be cleaned out, and then the gear wheel in and of itself, which will remain as one piece. This is the axle. Right where my pinky is, there was a rubber gasket in there that has simply disintegrated, so I will need to replace that rubber gasket. Was entirely covered in grease, and then that hole where the cotter pin goes was just completely filled with grease, which is why I could not remove the cotter pin. This mechanism here is to adjust any wobble that might occur in the wheel. As the wheel is spinning about its axis, if there was side-to-side play, that is what this is for. It makes the shaft tighter so that there is not that side-to-side play. There is a ball bearing that goes into here that is making contact with the gear shaft, and then the screw can be turned on the exterior of the grinder to make it tighter and take up any of that slop. But what's interesting is that this armature here, this piece is metal, and obviously the carriage bolt and wing nut are, but the rest of this is all wood. And I'm not really sure if that's the way it was originally, or if it was a cast iron piece that was dropped and broken, or what. But this is the top, and you can tighten it down, you loosen it up, and then you can adjust your angle, and then loosen here and adjust the angle there. This right here is the clamping body. This is what clamps to your work surface. This wing nut goes through here, and when it's loosened, it allows the whole grinding setup to pivot. This is our grinding base, where I can rest a tool. It's a tool rest. Allows me to place the tool on it to maintain an angle, and then this is how it is adjusted and how it connects to that wooden armature. Obviously our handle with multiple washers that go in here that then connect it to this gear shaft, which is what drives our worm gear here. On this side is where our grinding wheel is connected. There's a washer here, and then this threaded washer. I'm not sure if that's original or if that was something that was replaced. All the other restorations I've seen have nuts. This cotter pin goes through here, and then this is the bearing
which as you can see flash rusted after its degreasing bath because it didn't get treated with WD-40 right away. Everything else was treated with WD-40. Obviously the main body, this is where that gear shaft goes through, and then this is the back to that main body, and it's secured with these 3 screws and nuts.